How's it going, everybody? My name is John. I'm here with Genesis of Schaumburg, part of the Patrick Dealer Group. We are super excited to show you this video today because next to me I have a 2025 Genesis GV70. These cars are absolutely amazing. They do a fantastic job at just about everything. Let's take a look around. We'll go for a little drive. Let's have some fun. Alrighty, the GV70. Now, I've always loved the look of these cars since they came out. I'm really happy to be reviewing them. This one is a 2025 model. It is in Capri Blue, which looks super cool. I love the way that it just kind of sparkles in the sunshine. Looks really nice. And you get these 21-inch wheels, which just look fantastic. Genesis has some of the coolest looking wheels out on the market. I absolutely love every one that they do. This one in kind of a black chrome finish just looks super nice, and they're wrapped in Michelin tires. For 2025, they changed up the grille just a little bit. You get a kind of different look for the sport models, and along with bigger intakes down at the bottom of the bumper there. So it just distinguishes it from the kind of luxury models also. So if you want a more sporty appearance, you're definitely going to go with that sport package. And then if you want a little bit more luxurious look with a little bit brighter chrome accents around the car, you're going to go for that one. But these sport models are really nice. You get black chrome accents all around the vehicle, everywhere around the windows trim, everywhere. Just looks so good. Very cool. I love Genesis's 2-bar light design. Looks super unique. Nothing else on the road looks quite like a Genesis, and that's definitely one of their points. They don't want their cars to blend in. They want them to stand out. They want them to be recognizable, and they do a great job of that. But I absolutely love the way that these headlights look, especially when you see one coming in it behind you at night. Just looks super nice. You can definitely always recognize a Genesis. Now, the back of the car, also super cool. You got the same kind of 2-bar taillight design here. You got these big exhausts sticking out the back of the car, which always look really cool. This one being a 3.5T, it has the 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo engine, puts out 375 horsepower. So this thing's a little bit of a screamer. It sounds really good too. And you really got to keep an eye on the speed limit when you're driving this car, because it is just so smooth and the acceleration is just so linear that you got to really keep an eye on the speed limit to make sure you're not going like 15 over on every road that you drive on. Because it is just really that smooth and has that much effortless power. Inside the trunk, you got plenty of room. You press the button underneath the wiper arm to pop it open, but we got stuff, because this being a brand new car, so you got things like the floor mats and the first aid kits there also. But even underneath the trunk here, in a little lid, you got your spare tire and a little cubby hole down there for little knickknacks also. But of course you can fold the rear seats down, but tons of room in here also. Just a really good amount of usable space in there too. This one is a Sport Prestige model. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that means it's pretty much fully loaded. So you got everything from safety, performance, luxury features, just everything you can imagine. This car, if you were to put all of the same options onto a Porsche Macan, would probably be about $40,000 more for that Porsche. So really good amount of stuff in here at a pretty affordable rate. This one is stickered at about $74,000, which is still a lot of money, but considering everything that you're getting, it's a pretty good deal there. Let's take a look at the inside, because it's really nice. Alrighty, and taking a look inside the GV70, it is absolutely gorgeous in here, just like in every Genesis. Their interior quality is just fantastic. I absolutely love the layout in here. It just looks so good. The diamond quilt stitching on the seats looks fantastic, especially with all this white contrast stitching against the black leather. Just looks so good. I also love in these Sport Prestige models, you get carbon fiber trim, and it's not just any carbon fiber, it is this special weave that they've put on, which looks so cool. I absolutely love it. It's just like a big, thick weave pattern. Looks so good. You get that on the center console and on the doors as well. Just looks super unique. One of my favorite aspects of this interior is definitely got to be the instrument cluster. Now, it's really hard to film, but I'm going to do my best. So let's go ahead and take a seat inside here. And now with this instrument cluster, it's actually like a 3D hologram. It's really hard to show, like I said, but there's actually a sensor up here that's looking at your eyes, and it is actually going to make the graphics on the instrument cluster kind of of pop out and look like they're 3D. It's really, really cool, and when you kind of move your head around, they actually kind of tilt and turn with your vision. It's really, really neat to show. It's probably not going to show up on camera, but if you get behind the wheel of one of these, it looks like you're looking at some special effect from a movie. It is just so, so cool. I absolutely love it. And I've got this big screen up here which looks really, really nice, just kind of placed right onto the top of the dash. But it's never going to be kind of sticking up into your view of the road, because from your driving position you're actually going to see the hood up there. So it's never kind of blocking your visibility going forward, which is what you see in a lot of new cars today with big screens. But all of the graphics in here are just super, super clean. Everything works really, really well. You got really nice feedback whenever you're pressing on any of the buttons in here. Everything just works exactly how you expect it to. All of the graphics look fantastic, and yeah, they just did a really, really nice job laying this out. You can control it with the touch screen, but if you don't want to get fingerprints all over the screen, you also have kind of a classic kind of controller down here too. You got your big heating and air controls down here, which is really, really clean. You got little dials for all your driver's controls there for temperature. You got your fan speed kind of integrated into this screen here too. This screen also has haptic feedback, so when you press on it, you get a little vibration too, which is cool. You got heated and cooled seats in here, heated steering wheel, sync controls, automatic, defrosters and things like that. Just works fantastically well. And then you have little shortcuts for your infotainment screen also, so you can jump right to kind of your main points like maps and navigation, a favorites button, which is always a great thing to have in a car, so you can just program that to do whatever you kind of use most often. Your radio, your media for Bluetooth, a settings button. But yeah, just great, great job with all these Genesis interiors. They look so, so good always, and they're even better to drive. So let's get behind the wheel and let's take it for a spin. Alrighty, driving the GV70. Now, I'll admit, when I first started this job, I'd never really driven a Genesis before, didn't know what they were like, what they were about, and now after driving quite a few of them, pretty much every single car in the range, they're one of my favorite cars that we sell. I really, really like the way that these drive. They are just so effortlessly smooth, and the amount of luxury in here is pretty unrivaled for the price point that it's at. They just do a fantastic job of putting cars together and making them engaging to drive while also being super luxurious and super practical. They really just are great all-around cars, and I really, really enjoy driving them. So really makes doing reviews on these cars pretty easy, because there's not really anything I don't like about these models. But yeah, they've really, really surprised me in how well that these cars drive and function. They're just fantastic. Now, like I mentioned, this one is the 3.5T, so with that 375 horsepower twin turbo V6, I mean, that is a pretty stout engine, and it's got plenty of performance to back it up. I mean, this thing really moves when you put your foot down. You can also get the 2.5 models. Those have a inline 4-cylinder engine, not quite as much power, but yeah, if you want a fun drive, the 3.5 is definitely the way to go, because this thing moves. Let's just give it a quick acceleration test. Let me just put my foot down and yep, kick down, and yep, there we go. Yeah, really just as easy as that to just pick up speed. Like I said, you really got to watch the speedometer as you're driving, because you could get in trouble pretty quickly. One thing I've also noticed about these Genesi, is that they are extremely smooth. Every time I get into one, they just really just float and glide down the road. They just make driving so easy that yeah, you really just don't have to do anything but just kind of turn your hands and put your foot down on the gas and hit the brakes. That's about it. There's really no other kind of thinking required if you don't want to. This thing just glides down the road. If you could be asleep but still awake and being able to drive, this would be a great car to do that in. Again, not saying don't sleep while you're driving, but if you could somehow sleep with your eyes open and being able to function behind the wheel of a car, this car would be perfect for that. These cars are just super, super stable. Going around corners, it just floats through them like it's on rails. There is just no problem at all. You still get a good amount of feedback from the steering wheel, but it's not going to be kind of fighting in your hands or anything like that. It's just super, super nice. Now, one thing Genesis is really, really great at is interiors and interior quality, like I just mentioned and showed you. Usually in other brands, you're going to have to wait till kind of the top tier models to get things like quilted seats, carbon fiber trim, aluminum accents accents all over the place, leather dashboards, Alcantara headliners. With Genesis, they just give it to you right away, pretty much no matter what model you're in, which is just super, super nice. These cars always feel more expensive than they actually are. This car, like I mentioned, if you were going to put it up against like a Porsche Macan, you are looking at, you know, 30, maybe 40 grand more with all those Porsche options you have to pay for, whereas this, you get a lot of it just in a couple of packages. Plus, knowing that you have every safety system imaginable at your fingertips, at your disposal, whenever you may need it, hopefully never, but just knowing that you're safe in all those regards is just super, super calming. And this car just really just makes it super easy to drive. They're just super, super easy and nice to drive. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, other than that, it's really hard to come up with a bunch of talking points because it just drives so well. Otherwise, you're just going to think I'm being a little bit too biased in these videos. Of course, I am trying to help our dealership sell these cars by making these videos, but they are just really, really nice. What more can I say? These cars are fantastic to drive. I've said it in every Genesis video that I've done so far. If you haven't driven a Genesis, go drive one because they're really, really nice. Alrighty, thank you all so much for watching the video. I had a great time making it for you. Leave a like and a comment below. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section about what you think about the GV70. Stay tuned for more videos. Have a great day.